Alright, hey everyone, this is Colby Kibbe, and today we're going to go through Project 1, which is called Presenting Yourself. Essentially, it's a personal website that you're going to edit, update, add some links, you're going to adjust some images, and adjust some text as well. And so I wanted to give an overview of how this assignment can be completed, what to look at, because I know that there's quite a few files that are going to be in the template folder, and we'll definitely want to help you get through this process. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright. So, as you can see here, I've already opened up Dreamweaver, and I'm going to drag a couple of files into here. So let me actually show you what these files are. Alright, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here are the files here that are within your assignment folder. So, as you can see here, there are we have our index page here, which is going to be our main page. It's our home page. Then we have our supporting pages here, hobbies, gallery, and contact. Then we have our images folder. This is the images folder that's utilized by these pages here. Alright. And then the ones that I have here just pointed out in gray, these are just extra folders that are there just to hold images that we're going to edit. So generally, if you were looking at a website, you would not have these two in there. Right? This would generally just be index, all your supporting pages, your styling. So this is how the colors and the fonts that are utilized for the page, they're housed in here, and then they're referenced on this index page. So once I open it up, I'll show you what it looks like. And of course your images folder, right? And so, but for case of providing all the files, I'm just going to drop these back in here because we're going to work with these. All right, you probably don't have on my images because I just created that and I wanted to add in some images that I'm going to use for my page. Alright, and also have a headshot of myself here, so there we go. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and dive on it. First thing I'm going to do is just drag my index file into Dreamweaver. And here we are. Alright, so within Dreamweaver, now we have what we're going to update, right? So let's just do a quick overview, right? So within Dreamweaver, you have your top level section where you have your visual of the web page. Then you have your bottom section here, which is the actual HTML. Alright, and so a lot of this could look just kind of like mumbo jumbo in a sense, right, if you're not familiar with it. But essentially, you're going to have your HTML tags here, where you have your header section, which is essentially calling out to that CSS file that I had pointed out earlier, which is this one, right? But for sake of actually getting through this assignment, you don't really have to mess with the CSS file, really at all, unless you just want to. And are familiar enough, of course. So what we want to do here is a couple of things. We want to update all of this demo content, so everything that's going to be here. We also want to update this image of this surfer here, right? Put yourself there, put something else there, put a superhero there, whatever you prefer, right? We're also going to go through how to update the links here. All right, so let's go ahead and just touch base on each one of these. All right. Oh, we're also going to. So I should also mention we're also going to update the headers and what that looks like. A lot of these headers are actually images, and so I'll show you which images to look for so you can actually go ahead and edit those in Photoshop, save them down, then replace them in your folder, and they should reflect on your site. First thing we're going to do is just update this text here, right? So this text here is within what's called P tags, or paragraph tags. And so if you wanted to just go into here and click on it, you could just actually highlight and edit it here. That's an option. Or if you actually want to just go down here, you can actually just highlight all the text and just start typing. I'll just say my name is Colby Kibbe. Alright. And then you can add in just some different text here, just like that, right? And it actually everything reflects here. What I'll also do is go ahead and just delete some of this other information here. Just say I just want to have one P tag. You can do that as well if you wanted to. P tags are really good because they'll help break up some of your text, right? Otherwise, you just kind of have one long consecutive, line of text, if you will, right? Let's keep going and see how far it goes. There we go, right? So it doesn't actually text wrap, it just kind of bumps everything down. So having those P tags does help to break everything up. So if we go back to this, and I just wanted to say copy another paragraph tag, like what I just deleted, there we are, see? And so that's how you update your text. Alright, the next thing we want to do, I'm going to go ahead and say let's update these links that are showing right here, okay? So we can either just click on them so we can see where they're located, alright? Or if we want to actually go down and see where they're located within HTML, here they are, right? So we have our my music tag, my movies tag, sports, and paintings. You can really change this to whatever is of interest to you. So you can say my YouTube page, my Instagram page, things like that, my LinkedIn account. And so here, what I'll do is I'll change this to say my LinkedIn profile. Alright, and so now that says my LinkedIn profile. And I'll make this a little bit bigger so that you can actually see it. Alright, let's get that one bigger. And here we are. There we are. So my LinkedIn profile, right? So right now, if I go back to where I was editing this, I have my text here. This information here, this A tag here, this is going to be your href tag here, if you will. This is going to be how you're going to link to your page, right? So everything says just index.html. All that means is that it's linking back to the page that you're already on. So it's not going to do anything. It's kind of like a broken link, if you will. So what I want to do is I want to add in my actual URL here. So let's go ahead and find that, right? So I'm just going to go on the internet. I'm actually on another screen, right? But I'm going to go to LinkedIn on another screen really quick, and I'm just going to grab the URL from here. So let's see. Where is my LinkedIn profile page? Here we are. I'll just drag it over here so you can see. Alright, so here's the actual link that they're giving me. Also, I could just go to the address bar here and grab it. Boom. Okay, so now that I've grabbed it, I'm just going to replace this here. There we are. And once I have this, I'm going to save it. Control save, Apple save. Alright, so now if I click on this, it should take me to my actual linked page. So to test, you can either just go here and click on live, and it'll show you this is what I have, right? How I like to test actually though is to go back to my folder and look at my files and take my index.html page and I'll just drag it into my browser. So open up a browser window, index, and then just drag it in. Here we are. This is always a good way to test and see if your website is actually working. Alright, so as you can see, my text is updated here. It says my LinkedIn profile, and if I click on the link, there we are. It takes me to my page. Great. If I go back, I can see it. Alright, there we are. So we've went ahead and updated our link here. Alright, next we're going to update our image here. Alright, so let's take a look at that. So we have this guy here. We're actually going to close this out because this is in the browser and it will be in Dreamweaver. Alright, and so I'm just going to click and see what's the name of this image. Alright, so this image here, it's under images, so that's the images folder here, and the name is called left_photo.jpg. So this is the image name for this. This is what this web page is referencing, this image. So let's go ahead and look back at our image folder. Alright, so if I go back to my images folder, right, because that's what it is, right, not to be confused with these other ones, there's a ton of images in here, right? And so this template uses a lot of these images for like the background and whatnot. So what are the ones that we're looking for specifically? Here they are. I went ahead and highlighted them in orange. So there's left photo, which is going to be this one that we're looking at. There's also, and also take note that it calls out the extension, so .jpg, alright, because there are some .gifs in here as well. I see that there is a photo that's being referenced, same photo but it's a different name, right? So why is that? Probably because it's on a different page, right? And so we'll look at that as well. And so we have 4 of these, right? So we're going to edit this one, right? And so, or essentially replace this one, right? So you can do it a couple of different ways. If you have your own image that you want to add on, like I did here, I said I had another image. Alright, perfect. Let's see. So I'm just going to make this image name a little different. I just grabbed it from the internet. And Bulbasaur. Perfect. I'm just going to copy it over into my images folder. Great. There it is. Then what I'm going to do is copy the name. And I'm going to replace this one here. Let's see how it looks. That's not it, sorry. Here we are. Left_photo.jpg. Inside of the images folder. Here we are. Okay, there we go. It does look a little funny, right? That looks funny because the width that was previously set was set for that image there, right? So we can either just kind of adjust this to say, just kind of see what looks good. 250. Oh, that looks better. 300. Even better, right? 300 by 300, just a square. We'll just say it like that. That's fine. Great. I'll go ahead and change. You don't have to do this. I'm going to change this just to save Bulbasaur, just because that's what it is. All right, perfect. That looks good. All right, perfect. So now we've changed our image, right? Another way you could do this is you could just open that image up in Photoshop and just replace it there. Keep the same image name if you want to. That's an option as well. All right, so now we've changed our image. Well, should I say so far we changed our image, our text, our links. Last thing we're going to do here is you might want to adjust this title here, or any of these titles really. So the thing is, these titles are actually images, right? So they could have been text, but in this case they're images, and so we're going to essentially do the same thing, kind of identify what the file name is. So let's see, this is title welcome. Is this it? Yep, that's it right there. So we're going to go ahead and make this update. But I'm going to keep the same name here. I'm just going to actually just edit this. So let's find this file here, title underscore welcome.gif. All right, go to my images folder, and now I'm looking for title.welcome, right? .gif. I'm going to highlight these in green too. So all these here are essentially the ones that are going to be reflected on different pages. So I just went ahead and highlight those just in my folder. These are the ones that you'll want to pay attention to though. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and actually here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually not going to edit this one directly. What I'm going to do is find the one that's already set up for me to edit. All right. So which one is that one? We said welcome, right? Title welcome. Is that it? Perfect. Let's go ahead and open this one up. I'm going to open it up in Photoshop, PSD file. I should be able to edit it there. Great. Alright, so in your previous assignment, you likely worked on Photoshop, so we're going to make some updates here, right? So essentially, this is one Photoshop file that has different layers, and I'm going to go ahead and select my home layer. Alright, turn off my contact. So since this page is orange, that's where I want to edit this one. Alright, great. Let me zoom in a little bit. And then now I'm going to select my text tool. I'm just going to say, this is my page. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this out. So it was a GIF file, right? So I'm just going to go to File. Actually, sorry, I'm still in the text. So let me just get out of that. Here we are, File. I'm going to go to Export. Alright. Then we're going to export for web. Alright. And then when I'm in here, everything's already set for what the dimensions were, 139 by 20. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and change this to a GIF, just because that was a file that was already saved as file type. Alright, so in this case, I'm just going to get rid of that, and let me just double check. What was the name of that file here, right? Title underscore welcome.gif. Perfect. Just going to go ahead and save this. Alright, so I'm going to save this down to my desktop. Just for now. Alright. And now that it's on my desktop, I'm going to drag it into my images folder, and I'm going to let it replace the file I already had. So it's saying go ahead and replace. Yep, replace it. Great. Alright, I'm just going to right click and click reload. And there we go. Alright, now it says this is my page. Alright, and so this title here, as well as this one here, as well as this one here, are all going to be images that you want to find the name, and you can replace them if you like to do that. Alright, and so lastly, right, so we also want to make sure that all of these pages are linked as well and have associated edits. So one thing we want to do to check is, let's go ahead and drag our index.html back into our web browser. Alright, I actually already had it open over here. Alright, and so we just want to make sure these links work. So we click on them, and they work. Good. Everything, all the pages change, and we're good to go, right? And the reason they do work is because if we were to go back to Dreamweaver and look at our pages, right? These are the links at the top. Index, hobbies, gallery, contacts. They just have the HTML. They don't say like images slash, just for example. That means they're all in the top level folder here. They're all together on the same level. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so with that, and actually it might be easier if I just did something like this. My bad. I'm looking for this. Alright, if we just did it like this, where I'm looking for index, everything together. Alright, great. So they're all on the same level. So as long as they're showing here, we're good to go. Alright, so once you've updated, say, your home page, for example, then you probably want to go ahead and update the rest of your pages. Alright, so let's go ahead and drag in the rest of our HTML files into Dreamweaver. Alright, so I'm just going to grab these here, as you can see, drop them into my Dreamweaver icon, and here we are. Alright, so now we have all of our pages here. Alright, and so they all look pretty much the same. So again, you probably want to go in, update your links here, update your text here to reflect yourself, and then your headers here. Alright, and so everything does work out. Image here again, if you click on this one, I think we mentioned earlier how we have the file name, and so it's just the same file or same image, different file name. So you can edit this one and it'll show up on this particular page. Alright, there we go. Essentially that's going to be your updates to the present yourself assignment. So definitely give it a shot. Hopefully this instructional guide will help out. And of course, let me know if you have any questions. Alright, thank you very much.